Good morning, everyone. It's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people and absolute welcome to you, your spirit guides and my spirit guides on this journey with us today. Fabulous to have you along. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping to start with. Monday here is a public holiday, so if nothing astounding happens over the weekend, I won't be back on until Tuesday. Obviously, thoughts and hearts and source light goes to those in Florida at the moment. If you are wanting to find some information on how you can help, Bo of the Fifth Column did a fabulous video yesterday about what sort of, if you're wanting to supply, give any assistance to the area if you don't live there. It's about what goods you can send to the area of Florida. Okay, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to have a look at, well, we're going to go for a bit of a world wander today. But first of all, to the US with the Electoral Count Act. It has passed the House. It has been supported by Mitch McConnell, and what it basically is doing is updating the 1887 Act, which will be basically confirming that the president is voted by popular vote, cannot be overridden by any other authorities, for example, the state authorities, which is what Trump tried to do in the 2020 elections. The VP, Vice President, will have no power except to confirm the vote. They have no power to override or change the result. And it also, I believe, pre-confirms who will be the state representative that will present the vote to government. I can't believe it hasn't been touched since 1887. It didn't pass the House by a lot, 229 votes to 203. So you really have to wonder, those that voted against, which were Republicans, why they don't support the actual one person, one vote democracy system, that they're not supporting that the democracy be confirmed. Anyhow, it's going to the upper house, the Congress, Senate, whatever it is called. I always get it confused. But possibly not before the midterms, because I gather Congress is in recession at the moment and they may not be coming back during the month of October. So let us have a look. I'll just use pendulum to start with, just to see whether it will go through the US upper house and then what the result may be. Might not be a bad thing if it doesn't go through the Senate until next year, but we'll have a look, because I believe the Democrats are going to pick up a couple of seats in the Senate. Okay, may I ask a question? Well, it's already ready for me. It's just picking up the energies for a question. Will the Electoral Count Act go through the Senate? Yeah, it's telling me no. It's telling me no, because it knows the question. Will it be presented to the Senate before the US midterms? Very definitely no. Okay, back to neutral, please. Thank you. Will it be presented to the US Senate, the Electoral Count Act be presented to the US Senate after the midterms? And that's telling me a yes. Okay, may I ask a question? Back to neutral, please, again. Thank you. Will the Electoral Count Act pass the Senate? Well, it's telling me a yes before I even got the question out. Pass the Senate. So that's, we'll watch that with interest. There's no real story to have there, so I won't draw some cards on it. But if you've got any questions, please put them in the comments below. But basically it's telling me the Electoral Count Act won't be presented to the Senate before the midterms. It will be after, and it will get through. So we will watch that with interest. It's just US politics astounds those of us in other countries. Okay, I want to have a look at the UK election next. I am going to get to Russia before I finish. There's a few questions I want to ask there, but we'll go to the UK election. Apparently, the next general election in the UK isn't until January 2025. However, not a good start for the Conservative Trust government. Their choices basically within the first couple of weeks has plunged the UK into quite a very dire situation. We discussed that yesterday, and I saw an article this morning that reaffirmed what I was blathering about yesterday, in that just steps one can take to conserve money. I know you're coming into winter. I know electricity bills are really high. If possible, hang your washing to dry rather than putting it in the tumble dryer, if possible. Not necessarily possible when it's 2 degrees and snowing outside. But another factor is for keeping warm, you are better off with something like you can get those coats that have the little electric blankets in them. Plug those on, put some blankets on, and they're a lot cheaper than actually to keep warm of an evening or night time, instead of trying to heat the air. Heating the air is a very inefficient way of warming a room. So just look at options like that if you can. But what I want to do is I want to have a look at the UK election 2025. I'm just going this. Obviously, it's a while off, so we'll just see what the energies are at this stage. We've discussed Brexit a lot. There's no going back on Brexit, unfortunately. A lot of voter remorse in regards to that. But may I ask a question about the UK election, please? Will it be held before January 2025? That's a definite yes. Will the next UK, may I ask a question, please? Back to neutral, please. Back to neutral, thank you. Will the next UK election be held in 2024? Will the next election, UK general election, be held 2024? I'm getting a no there, okay. Has to be held before January 2025. Okay, may I ask a question, please? May I ask a question? Will the next UK general election be held in 2023? That's next year, and I'm getting a very strong yes with that. So we might throw some cards on that one. Okay, what cards am I going to choose today? Okay, I'll use my mystical mango cards, which are my political cards. And I'm just going to ask, first of all, there might be 2 questions in this. The story of the UK general election. Split the deck to start shuffling, and what do I get? Murky underbelly, secrets to be revealed, and dark money. Okay, that might be a reason behind the election being held early, is that there is something that is going to be revealed in regards to dark money. I do know that there is a perception that Russia had quite an influence in the Brexit vote, which may be a trigger, but we'll have a look at just general energies, and then we might have a look at, so you've got the Conservative Party. I can't think of the name of the other side. I'll just call them the Liberal Party. And to be honest, the deputy leader, female, absolutely hammering it. Absolutely doing a brilliant job. I might see whether she's going to become the next leader as well. Okay, inevitable ending. There's going to be judgment in what has gone past, and this one just was sticking out as well, is that there's a lot of anxiety going on at the moment within the political ranks, because I think this comes back to that murky underbelly, secrets going to be revealed, brought into the light. in regards to dark money. Okay, tell me about what's flipped over there. What has flipped over there as I'm talking about the dark? This is the mercenary card, the monetary card. It's also slow, steady progress forward as well, but it is bringing a message about the money. Okay, thank you. There's a message about the money, dark money behind the scenes that's going to come forward. Tell me about the next UK election. Pendulum said 2023. Tell me about the next UK election, 2023. Tell me about the next UK election 2023. Next UK election 2023. Oh, telling me. Shuffled enough. Cards dropping out. Okay, let's see what they are. This is the one that fell out first. Sorry, just lift you slightly there. Yeah. This is about the being chained to the, addicted to the greed and the toxic. It's just toxic at the moment. The government there is just toxic at the moment. This is the signifier card, and there is a new message being brought forward, especially by the youth of the day. So this is a skilled orator. Okay. Is this the young... I'll just ask. Should have written a name down. I wasn't thinking I was going to go here. Okay, may I ask a question? Is this the deputy leader of the Liberal opposition party in the UK? And that's a yes. Strong yes. Okay. So this toxic government at the moment is being exposed and challenged by this deputy leader of the opposition party. Base of the reading, Page of Swords, whistleblowers, spy in the camp, truth and information being brought forward by from an unexpected quarter. So there's going to be something revealed here. In the past, the Fool, foolishness, may also be Liz Truss being a new start for them. But I'm really getting a pull to the foolishness. And the foolishness, if you see the bright sun behind, is going to be exposed. Okay, let's keep going with this. Naivety in the past. Emotional naivety in the past is crowning this reading, and I think what it is it's about the voters of Britain being emotionally naive in regards to what is actually happening in politics. They were very much like the US in that they were enticed by the popularity vote. They didn't research for themselves and just believed what they were told by the likes of Boris Johnson, etc., in regards to Brexit, and Nigel Farage and all the others who led the voter down the path. But I think this naivety is passing, and it's the same in the US. The election of Donald Trump woke a lot of people up to actually having a political astuteness and a political interest. Immediate future, the Knight of Wands. This can be rash movement forward, inspired but knee-jerk movement forward. So this is the immediate future. Externally, looking overseas, but a plan coming to fruition. Externally, the ship coming into harbour. Okay, let's keep going. Internally, ooh. Here we have Mother Russia, but this is also a rebirth of something new, the birth of something new coming forward. Okay, we'll keep going, see where it takes us. Knight of Swords, a harsh truth being exposed, sitting over this Russia. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so what I'm doing is just, what was this? What did I ask? Politics or the election? However it goes, we'll just keep reading. Reaping what you sow. A judgment coming forward. Oh, here's this, and you saw me shuffle extensively, but these two cards have decided to come forward again together. Disappointment at what is on offer. So I think this is the voter remorse. There is a bombshell that is going to be revealed out of left field that we totally do not expect. Loss and disappointment, heartbreak and despair, investigation, a light being shone, and then we have the Star. Okay, so this is UK politics at the moment. It is this devil energy. It's going to be exposed. There's going to be harsh truths to be revealed in regards to overseas connections, Russia. Don't know where it's going to come from, but this bombshell is going to come forward. There is going to be something revealed that is completely unexpected. Disappointment with what's happened. So, yeah, the current government is going to reap what they sow. They're going to be judged for it. There's a lot of anxiety amongst the voters. They are disappointed with what's on offer. And there is going to be something revealed that is completely just left field. Loss and disappointment, heartbreak, despair, investigation, but hope. Okay, on the base, we had the money. King of Coins. We've got more money. We've got more money. So there's something, okay. King of Coins is the government of the day at the moment, rewarding the rich. Everybody else is just really going to have to budget and hoard their money. There's going to be some doling out to the voter. We also have more money again. So the government of the day I think is going to have to walk away based on the monetary situation that they've put the country in, and that's what's going to take it to an election, is a loss of faith in the government. Okay, don't know where that came from. Okay, thank you, Master. Loss of faith in the government is where is what is going to cause the election to come early. I think it's just too early to ask a question on who and where. I'll do that closer to the election. But what I'm seeing is very much that the UK are going to go to a general election as dirty little secrets are exposed, and it is a lot to do with money and overseas influence, but also the fact that the UK is finding themselves in this monetary situation. Okay, I'm going to have a quick look at Russia. Well, it won't be a quick look, but we're going to have a look at Russia. There's a few questions popped up that I've noted down. One of them is obviously the Kremlin. Now, I'm saying the Kremlin because, again, I read last night when I noted these questions down about Russia. I asked again, is Putin alive? And I got the no. So I'm saying the Kremlin because I'm not convinced. Pendulum just keeps telling me no. Every time I ask, it's a no. Every time I ask whether it's a body double, I get a yes from Pendulum. I may be wrong. It may not be that he is physically dead, but he's dead in the water with what's happening. But I do also believe that a lot of what we see Putin looking well is actually a body double. Okay, so what I'm going to ask is the Kremlin going to... They're flat broke. I mentioned it the other day where you have troops being sent to the front line. There was a video coming out where their commander was strongly suggesting that they contact the women in their lives to get sanitary products to use as field dressings. They apparently have to supply their own food, and it's just an absolute nightmare at the moment there. And also there are no other first aid supplies, so the commander was requesting that they contact their family members to send first aid kits. It's like, So anyhow, the Kremlin has no money at the moment, so I don't know how they're going to supply military equipment to these new recruits. But what I want to have a look at is, will the Kremlin start seizing private monies to fund this war, which won't go down well with the oligarchs. Mary Ann, I watched yesterday, did an interesting upcoming month for Putin. I will replace the word Putin with the word Kremlin, where there was going to be something to do with money that's going to be quite a downfall. So let's have a look here. I'll just ask first with pendulum and then just see whether we need to use the cards to go further on this. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question? Wants to hang a bit more. May I ask a question, please? May I ask a question? In neutral. Will the Kremlin start seizing private monies? Will the Kremlin... So I'm trying to stay still here. Will the Kremlin start seizing private monies from oligarchs? So I'm getting a yes. May I ask a question, please? Back to neutral. Will the Kremlin start seizing monies from private citizens? From the banks, etc. And I'm getting a yes for that as well. Back to neutral. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if I've got another question for pendulum for that. I might draw some cards on it actually. See how that goes. My runic tarot, love these cards. My original, well, I won't say my original tarot teacher, because my original tarot teacher was 30 years ago and he has since passed. But my most recent tarot mentor absolutely loves these cards as well. She has a very interesting deck that she uses, and the way she reads is completely different to how I read. But her deck has, rather than, it has sayings all over them, it has meanings rather than actual, the actual symbols themselves and numbers. It's quite fascinating. Okay, what I'm looking at, the Kremlin seizing private monies to fund the military. I've been told yes, both oligarchs and private citizens. Tell me about this. How's this going to go? How is this going to go for the Kremlin seizing private monies from banks? Oh, Page of Swords. It's going to be exposed. I'm just really drawn to the stance of this figure. They're just going to plant this sword in front of them and say no, is what I'm being told. Okay, tell me about the Kremlin plan to seize private monies to fund the invasion. Can't really call it invasion so much anymore. They're being pushed back to fund the invasion. Tell me about the Kremlin seizing private monies to fund the invasion. Tell me about... Oh, I'm told to stop shuffling. Okay, let's have a look. The Fool. Signifier card. Can mean new starts with faith and courage, but really in this it's just foolishness. It's a foolish move to make. Drawn to the pig in this. Very often, I very rarely see the pig in this card, but I heard snout in the trough is what I was told. So I don't know if that's particularly polite of my guides, but I just heard snout in the trough. Foolishness. Clarified the Queen of Swords. The people aren't going to stand for this. They're going to stand up against it. You have the outstretched hands here, but the sword of saying, come on, just try it. They can do it. They can freeze the bank accounts and take the money, but it's not a bad move. I am so drawn to the face in this, where it's very much a try it and see what happens type face. Almost daring the Kremlin to do this. Another sword, Ace of Swords. Yeah. It's just yes, they're going to try it, but it's a foolish move. It's just they're going to find themselves at the blade of this sword. In the past, Queen of Cups. Couple of queens, interesting. She's got something in her cup that is going to be revealed that is unexpected. She's emotionally calm about this. She's quite soothing, but there is something that's going to be revealed, but it's in the past. So I'm thinking this is the plan that has been discussed in the Kremlin. Page of Cups. What have we got? We've got major, we've got all court cards so far and one major arcana. Page of Cups again. So this is what is coming forth from this Queen of Cups. So this is those in the position of authority, and this is the bombshell coming out. Just something completely out of left field, and I'm looking at behind this page. You've got the ocean coming in with a wave to engulf. A wild ocean coming in, wild emotions coming forward to just overtake this figure. But she's holding her cup, and there's something in that cup completely unexpected. Immediate future, the Hermit. Okay, isolation. Isolation, yeah, that's what I'm getting. I was thinking it might be investigation, but it's not. Okay, the light is going to be shone on these dark corners. The light is going to be shone on the darkness. On this hidden figure. Okay, externally, another cup. Swords and cups abound. Okay, so we've got these two new beginnings, emotionally overwhelming. Externally it's going to be. So the foundation is this, try it and you're going to fall by the sword. Those who live by the sword die by the sword. Thank you. I'm not sure where that came from, but yes, well, I do know where that came from, but that's what I just heard. Live by the sword, die by the sword. If they do attempt it, which I think they are, they're going to meet emotional resistance. Because it's not their money to take. Okay. Internally, not surprised this turned up in this place. This is the absolute destruction, burning on a monetary level. And you've got the page here. Sorry, the person, well, possibly is a page, but this person here standing in the foreground, clutching onto the chest of their possessions, holding on to their possessions as all around them burns. And I don't know if the camera will show it, but down the bottom, washing ashore, are all the bodies that have died in this fiery, burning. Oh boy. So this is internally. People are going to hold on to their money and burn down the structure that is threatening it. And there is going to be loss of life in regards to this, but if you've seen photographs from the front where Ukraine has retaken, there's so much loss of Russian life there at the moment. Hopes and fears. Yep. That the people are going to be forced to give it up, literally at sword point. They are going to be restricted in what they can do, but this is also possibly the Kremlin's going to be restricted in what they can do. This comes back to this sword. It's like, you want to take my money? Come and get it. Okay, thank you. Outcome, a lot of anxiety. This is literally one sword away from complete and utter downfall. Boundaries being set up. What have we got here? Having to defend themselves. Work going on behind the scenes. Russia choosing a path. Financially choosing a path. Okay, so there's this work going on behind the scenes in regards to the money, but the people themselves are at this stage. We have the tower moment. We have the story is continuing. So what will happen is, monetarily there'll be this crossroads for the people of Russia to decide, and they are going to bring about this tower, which reminds me of the inferno here in the internal energies. The unleashing the dragon, thank you, is what I'm getting. There is going to be disappointment, and this is, to be honest, this is very much the Kremlin of the day, their indolence, but it's a desiccating, rotting Kremlin at the moment, idly tipping over and wasting lives, tipping over the bodies. So that's the energies of the Kremlin at the moment. Yeah. Wounded in battle and retreat, an offer coming forward, and here we have another new start financially. Things moving forward very quickly against this devil energy, and again we have the crossroads. The crossroads for the Kremlin that will be brought to justice and judgment. Okay, so what I'm getting out of that is, I am getting that the Kremlin is planning to do so, and they will attempt to do so. So if you've got money in Russia, try and protect it. But I think that's going to be a last straw for the people of Russia. When I've got that tower card, the tipping over of the cups, the loss of life, combined with the Four of Pentacles, with the ship going up in flames, with the people holding on to what they can. I think an attempt to seize private monies is going to be the last straw for the people of Russia. I might just ask Pendulum on that, because I did get that. Yes, the Kremlin will attempt it, but let's have a quick look. Just to confirm, ask a question, please. Thank you. Will the Kremlin's attempt to seize private monies be the last straw for the Russian people? Will it be the last straw with the rising up? And I'm getting a yes. So, yep, think so. On top of already recruiting officers being attacked in Russia, there's a lot of pushback already. Those that have the means have been fleeing. Those that don't have the means have been rounded up by gunpoint and put on buses. Okay, so what I want to have a look at, talking about rounding up on gunpoint, is I know I've read on this. I just want to see where it's going to go. I'll use my runic again. So on Friday, we're Friday here, but Friday Russian time, which will be tonight, apparently Putin is going to be signing, or Putin's body double, or whomever, will be signing have a signing ceremony for the annexure of the 4 regions in Ukraine, which we all know was a sham. There is information coming out from those regions basically saying that there are people claiming that armed soldiers came to their door and at gunpoint they were asked which way they were going to vote. They weren't allowed to vote themselves. They had to verbally tell the official who came with the soldiers of which way they were going to vote at gunpoint, and the official then made the vote on their behalf. Now, so even if they stood firm and said, no, I don't want to be annexed to Russia, the official could put whatever he liked on the paper. So it's just horrific. But anyhow, I have read that it's going to fail, basically because it won't be recognised by anywhere else in the world. However, Putin's body double, or the Kremlin, or whomever it is they've set up in the Red Square banners and posters and whatever else for some official signing ceremony. I can't see how this is going to go. A lot of the territory that they're claiming they're going to annex is not even in Russian hands, it's in Ukrainian hands. I have read on this before, it is purely a ruse by the Kremlin to be able to send troops in. I'm getting the strength card. This is for Ukraine. Page of Pentacles, defending. Bringing forward. They're just literally, they're carrying the Ace of Pentacles and they're defending the regions. And I get victory as well. So I just don't see that this is going to work for Russia. I'm not getting any anxious feelings about it, to be honest. Okay, so let's have a look. The annexing of Ukraine. How's this going to work out for the Kremlin? Signing this afternoon or tonight, our time, Friday Russian time, very swiftly. It is purely a political stunt, thank you, to have an excuse to send troops in. But tell me how it's going to play out. Okay, let's have a look. Tell me how it's going to play out. Oh, not very good for Russia. 5 of Wands. This is often the youths fighting away, but this is... I don't even need to explain this card, really. Literally just burning down the house and burning at the stake, setting fire. Oh, they're not burning down the houses. What you have is the people standing outside the houses watching this burning at the stake. And this is the energies I'm getting out of this Kremlin claim, is they're going to burn themselves at the stake in regards to this. The truth is going to be packed up and moved towards a new sunrise, into calmer waters. Okay, let's see how this plays out. 8 of Swords, more sanctions are going to be imposed. There is going to be actually more restriction on Russia in regards to this. I am reading it from Russia's point of view because that's how I was thinking of it. But yeah, Russia's going to find itself at the point of this sword, of these swords, restricted further. In the past, we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is very much the defending of Ukraine. Things are happening very quickly, we know that. Literally, it was mere days ago that this sham referendum was taken, and now they're signing it already to then be ratified. But it is happening extremely quickly and chaotically. Thank you. Herding cats, basically. Immediate future, again we get this card. It's going to be... That's the ship in the background is Russia. And the people of Russia standing there and holding on to what meagre possessions they can. They have managed to save. So this is not good for Russia, even this. Page of Cups externally, there's something going to be revealed it's already been revealed, but there's something more that's going to be revealed that's going to come completely out of left field and just cause us to destroy. Internally, we've got the Queen of Cups. Man, I shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. So there is some calm diplomatic information coming forward. Again, she's got something in that cup to be revealed. So both externally and internally, there's going to be quite a dramatic revelation. Hopes and fears, Russia. But this is also a birth of something new. The hopes and fears are for Mother Russia. Outcome, partnerships and agreements coming forward. King of Swords. Investigation and truth. Queen of Pentacles, domestic security, but also compassionate security and judgment. Judgment, here we have this five again, and the devil energy. So this devil energy is going to find itself tipped over and lost as we go through this. Agreements coming forward, investigations in regards to what actually went on, and there will be judgment. So I'm still not seeing the Hierophant, which is the government, is going to find itself in loss and disappointment, having to defend its wounded in battle and having to defend itself and try and come up with a new plan. But we have this Nine of Swords here again as well. So the Kremlin, I don't know what's going to happen. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but it's not going to be, it's just not going to fly. It's just, I don't know how and I don't know why, but it's just not going to hold water, basically. Okay, last question. We're up to 43 minutes already, so I'm just going to ask quickly, and if I need to go further on this, I will on Tuesday. Perhaps, well, it might turn out to be a long video, this one. Okay, what is happening is that countries that are surrounding Russia are now preventing. Finland has now announced that it's not going to let any Russians in on tourist visas or as tourists. I don't know whether they need a visa. What's happening is that Russians are being stopped at the border and stopped from leaving Russia. This is an interesting situation because it's sort of a catch-22. If they can leave Russia, then they can't be called up and sent to the front. So you're removing these potential conscripts from actually going to the front and being forced into a war situation, which will very possibly save lives on both sides. But I can see the other side of, well, if you don't like what's happening, stay there and fix it. So let's have a look. There are some concerns, and the only concern I have is that, okay, with Russian citizens going into other countries, with Russians going into other countries, pardon me, start again, ask a question. Okay, are there Russian supporters moving into other EU countries? Are there Russian war supporters part of this? Yes. And I think that's what Finland are trying to prevent. in the Ukraine supporting EU countries, will there be any acts of terrorism take place? Oh, that's surprising me. I'm actually getting a very definite no in regards to that. Okay, so I won't read on that further. When I'm talking about terrorism, I'm thinking about, things being blown up or attacked or whatever by invasion supporters moving in. But I'm not seeing that I'm not seeing that happening. I might just pull 3 cards on that just to confirm, and then that'll do us for today. No future lives today. That was an interesting exercise yesterday. I do enjoy doing that. Love seeing the story come to fruition. Okay. Will there be any terrorist-style attacks on EU countries by mobilised Russians? Will there be any terrorism attacks on other EU countries by mobilised Russians? You know what I'm talking about, Master. I'm talking about shootings, bombings, that sort of thing. Will there be any? Okay, thank you. Let's have a look. Page of Wands. Love this with the Ukraine sunflowers in the background. So powerful messaging coming forward. Very powerful messaging. Page of Swords. Crossroads. And I always do that. Queen of Pentacles, domestic security. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing there's no Tower, there's no Ten of Swords, the next card was loss and disappointment, but I'm not feeling that that's actually in regards to any. It may be that, slow, steady protection and judgment. So what I'm getting is that from this particular series of cards is that there is such an overwhelming support of Ukraine, powerful messaging coming forward, that there are people who so this is the spy in the camp, the whistleblower, with this crossroads moment. So I think what's going to happen is that any threat to domestic security is going to be immediately pulled up and prevented. It's a unity of diversity. It is a coming together. It's a call to arms, judgment. But it's about people hearing the call, and just judgment of those that may have attempted something. So no, I mean, it doesn't mean that there won't be an attempt, but I'm not seeing that it's going to be. I think what's happened is that anyone planning anything is going to be very quickly stopped in their tracks. Okay, so thank you for joining me. That was fabulous. I shall see you on Sunday for what message Master has for us this week in regards to guidance. And if all is going well, I shall catch you on Tuesday. Thank you. Take care. Love to you all. Draw on the source energy and share it around the world where you feel is necessary. And take care. Look after yourselves. Help your communities. Help your fellow human beings to the extent that you can. And nothing more is asked of you. Okay, take care. Love to you all. Bye-bye.